Randy McKee with Soccer 605 here with Coach Jason Barles, whose team just picked up the Consolation Championship away from Rapid City Central in a shootout. Man, what a tournament for you, Coach.
We're just – the boys are on top of the world. You know, we were picked 11th by the coaches poll on Soccer 605, and I really felt we had probably a 4th place team, and we're right there, 5th place. We're happy with it.
Well, I'll tell you what, every game this weekend and during the season, but especially this is where you can prove it. But your team showed they belong.
Yeah, they did. Unlike other years, I think this season across the state, the teams are equal. For the win that we had the last 2 days, could have changed the outcomes of some of these games. I do have to say the reffing crews that we've had this weekend have been pretty stellar, which I can't really say that across the whole season, but for this weekend, yeah, I think the state did a great job getting good refs here. So.
Yeah, I know most of those guys, and most of them know me, and they like me when I'm not coaching. but you're right, they did I think they brought the best we had in the state to offer.
Yeah, no, it's always good stuff. A referee is there to uphold the laws of the game and not dictate it, and there really wasn't much dictating going on. So they let the teams play and dictate the game. That's the way it should be.
So today, against Central, both teams had a lot to play for still, and two good teams with good attitudes. What do you think made the game an even game during the run of play?
Well, we just didn't let them do what they did to us the first game out of in the season. We didn't let them just boot the ball and run onto it. We were kind of ready for that. Of course, we progressed through the year too. Our guys just stayed calm. They played the way I've taught them to play. A lot of these kids, these seniors, they've been playing together since they were 6-7 years old. And Mark did a great job with them in the younger years. But you know what? I had him before he had him. So Watertown soccer is on the move. We're moving in the right direction, and I'm proud of that. I'm proud to be a part of it.
Well, like I told your players, I've been good friends with Mark for many years. This is the first year I've met you, but I have a feeling we're going to be friends for many years coming forward too.
Yeah, I'm not going anywhere.
Well, and I just have really appreciated, you answer the phone every time we call. You obviously are enthusiastic about what's going on there and what your kids are doing, and man, it's just so nice to see that happening for Watertown.
Yeah, soccer is a passion, and I definitely have the passion for it. It's Mark's a great guy, and we really wouldn't be here without him either. And it's unfortunate that he had to step down from this position. It was bittersweet, like I told you in previous. But he was here with us today, and he missed our game yesterday, and he was mad about that he missed it. But it's like I said, I'm not going anywhere. I plan to be back here next year with another team. So
well, and I'm sure you're going to be back with a very competent team. You're losing some really key seniors, but you got a lot of young guys coming up who can pack the water.
We do. We've got a lot of kids. Shea Amundsen, he's a sophomore this year. He really stepped it up in our JVs games, and we've got some kids that are going to step up. Briar Derby, he's been a solid player. Right from the get-go. We've got Mitch Schockert, who's an 8th grader who's seen playing time today. We always turn around, hey, coaches, that's our 8th grader out there, And unfortunately, we don't have a lot of kids in Watertown to come try out. Mark and I have always kind of wanted to have 40 kids. That's kind of our goal. And we're always stuck right around that 30 mark for the tryout week. And we have some 7th graders come out. We kept one 7th grader this year. He's definitely going to be a player too. It's going to be fun.
My mentor, the legendary Ronnie Tice, I don't know if you know Ronnie or not, but he's a guy who played with Pele. He spent his whole life in soccer, and he always used to say, as coaches, we should not be judged by the great players we get, but by what kind of obstacles we overcome with those middle-of-the-road guys.
Right. Yeah, I tell you what, that's why I have the passion for soccer, is because, it's great to have great players, but it is the one sport you don't have to be a great player to go well or do well in it. You can be taught and you can learn it. And we've got a lot of kids in Watertown that are just like that. So a lot of this group here. Zachary Bartels, I don't know where the kid got some speed. I mean, he's my kid, and I'm not fast. So, Josh Carter and Dylan Little, they were both solid. They were captains this year. Briar Derby, they're again another solid player. We got Jordan Feige, Trevin Cordauer. Unfortunately, we lost Nick Shocker, T-Sack, we call him. We lost him to a meniscus tear. So that kind of changed our depth a little bit, especially in our defense. But you know what? The boys stepped up and played. So
losing Nick must have been a big hole because that kid loves to run, doesn't he?
He goes, and playing SD United was a big thing for him. That really helped his touches and his play, and so we got to get him healthy, and he's actually going to help me coach a U10 boys team through the winter. So he's not leaving soccer. He says I need something to do. He said so until he's healed up.
Well, he's a great kid, and Coach. Once again, I want to congratulate you on a season where you brought a lot of respect back to town with your team, and a great tournament. I can't remember the last time Watertown won 2 matches in a state tournament.
Yeah, it's I talked to Roger Merriam, our reporter in Watertown, sports reporter, and I think he was as excited as I was. So it's great for Watertown. It's great for Watertown soccer. And like I said, we're going to be a force yet. So we got kids, our whole program, our rec program, all the way up. And hopefully we'll get some club stuff going on too.
Well, Coach, thanks again very much for being such a great contributor to Soccer 605 this year. You've been a real big piece of our success, and I can't thank you enough for that.
Well, thank you, and thank you for having it, because it definitely helps soccer.